All right, welcome everybody to
and stuff.
As you can tell, Sean is not feeling good tonight, so he's gutting through it. Well, we're going to be looking at Joe Mad's art for the Darksiders video game. If you're into that, I haven't really checked too much of it out, so I'm looking forward to it. We also have guest Jose Garcia on. We're going to be rocking and rolling here on and stuff. We will see you guys in 2.3 seconds. Let's go.
I'm telling you, it is the definition between an entrepreneur and an employee. The employee goes to the cliff, looks over the cliff, says, is there a balloon down there? Do I be safe? What happens if it hurts? What if I land on my neck? The entrepreneur, they said, we need to jump off the cliff, backs up 10 feet to get a fucking run.
This town needs an enema.
Fuck.
Julio! Where's Commissioner Green?
Come on. You guys are 6 feet in.
Too stupid!
You don't really think you'll leave. Things change.
You got me? Who's got you?
Everything changed. And anyone who tells you different is just lying.
You know who this is? This is Mark motherfucking Sylvester.
All right, here we are, ready to go, ready to kick some ass. I did see that for some reason I can't go live on X. It's giving me an error sign. So, oh, there we go. Now we're live on X. Who knew? I don't know what the issue was, but there we go. We're ready to go. Sean,
Joey.
how you doing, buddy, man?
I'm doing okay. My throat is not good, so I might sound like I had a stroke, but I'm manning up and I'm doing the show. So I'm not going to be doing much talking. I'm going to show some shit. I'm not going to be doing much talking because it kind of hurts.
Yeah, no. Everybody, if you feel bad for Sean, send me some money.
Yeah, send Joey some money.
$5 or more super chats.
$5 or more, and I'll get better if you send Joey some more.
John Apple was number one in the chat, number one in our hearts, man. That makes you my friend.
Number one.
Yes, sir, you are. Says, yes, I am number one. My life is fulfilled. Oh, yeah, and hail the chat.
Wow.
Hail to you. By the way, if you guys see, there's a new thing going on in the chat here in YouTube where you guys can be the number one contributor of whatever it's called. You get this little symbol by you guys. The more you engage, the more you talk, the more you send super chats or whatever, you get this little purple thing, if you guys are seeing it, where it gives you the number one, and that's going to change as the show goes. So I see some number ones, some number threes here in the chat. I think right now John Apple is still number one, so that's interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just some,
Like Grimace?
no, it's like a crown with the number on it, so that it's going to move as the show goes. So if you're commenting a lot or whatever, you can go to number one or fall. Like, it's an interesting thing that they're doing for engagement on the YouTube side, but I like it. Interesting. Cool. Might have to see how that goes and maybe make a goal for somebody if they're number one by the end of the show. We get some kind of badge or something. Like, I don't have a lot of money just to give out, but we'll figure something out. Mark Penguin in the house. What's going on, brother? Great to see you. Of course, you're here, so we're gonna play this, my friend.
Mr. Penguin. A penguin is a bird that cannot fly. I am a man. I have a name.
And that name is Mark Penguin. Welcome, brother. Great to see you.
Yeah, I just sent Joe that cover too. like this afternoon when I first saw it.
Which one?
The Joe
Oh,
Mag.
the one he was just talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. Very excited about it.
Mhm.
Hail to the king, baby.
I hit that a little early. I was going to introduce it, but Hail the Lore is here. Great to see you, brother. Who else we got
Told
going
you.
on here? Yeah. We got Rick Saylor, member of the
What's up, bro?
channel, first member in the chat.
Oh my god! I'm sorry! I can't stop coming! I'm sorry! Oh, it feels so good!
Oh, it feels so good to have the members here in the chat tonight. And of course, Rick is here.
The
So
common thread in all of my failed schemes is human stupidity. People are just too stupid to accept me as their leader.
that is true. That's always true. Silver Ogre's in the house. Good to see you, man. It's been a second.
Yeah, how you doing?
He says, I hear the siren song of Madureira. Long have I waited this day. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree. I always get IE and EI mixed up. I'm missing something.
Well, Nelly never gets EI. Uh-oh. Mixed
Uh-oh.
up.
I like that. Charles Beavis is in the house. What's going on, man? Great to see
How are
you.
you?
Did I miss anybody? There we go. Heath Ward in the house, member of the channel, as always.
Afternoon. Stinks like sex in here.
Yes, always does. Blue Boys in the comics. Oh, in the
Blue,
house.
you my boy.
Blue Boys in the comics. I meant to say Blue Boys in the house. Let me try that again. Blue Boy Comics is in the house.
Blue, you my boy.
Sorry to make you do that a second time, Sean. I know you're not feeling good, but I like.
I'm here for the
Yeah.
for the show.
That's all. That's what it's all about. Scotsman TV is in the house. What's going on, brother?
What's
He says, hey, yes, sir. Great to see you. Reaper Comic Enjoyer. I like that.
Nice.
I like that. That's awesome. I appreciate you. We have Christopher Bouchard.
Bouchard.
Welcome, my friend.
I got a question for
you
Christopher
go ahead and ask
Bouchard.
it. Go and ask
I
him.
was just watching an old episode of Laser Pants' channel. He does toys reviews and that type of podcast.
Fun.
And it was awesome. And Christopher Bouchard was on
Oh shit! There you
in
go.
the chat.
Nice,
And
nice.
he pledged to this independent toy company where it looks like adult sized Battle Beasts. I don't know if you remember Battle Beasts.
Yeah, man.
Well, think like 6-inch. So I was wondering, Christopher, have you gotten those toys yet? Because I think this show was from like a year ago or so. Because they looked really, really dope. There was like a lion, a shark, some other shit. I was like, that's our guy. And I did do the thing when I say Christopher Bouchard. So what's that?
I like that.
Yeah.
I gotta make a post to let everyone know we actually are live on X, even though it didn't let us go at first.
But while Joe's doing that, I'm gonna show you guys how geeky I am with this Darksiders shit.
Yeah.
I had to get the statue when it first came out.
Oh yeah.
I love this property. I get really girly for it.
Oh shit. Well, this was Sean's idea. He's like, dude, we ought to do this. I'm like, okay. I know a little bit about it, but I haven't looked at a lot of the art. I'm not a big gamer, but this is gonna be fun. I'm digging it.
Yeah, me neither. The only reason why I
forward to
got a PlayStation 3 was because of this game. This is like a comic book by Lullaby or Lulladoy, whatever the person's name is.
Oh yeah,
Beautiful stuff. This is a volume 2 art of a small version. Then these are the big bitches that cost me a lot of money and maybe a relationship, but I still have these.
Everyone's digging this stuff, man. Yeah, show and tell. I'm liking it. Sammy Sadiq says the Statue of War is beautiful.
Yeah, I gotta
Sean's
get
got a bunch of cool shit, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I gotta get the mask for death still. Just because I don't know why. I'm 43 years old. The fuck do I need the mask?
Yeah, people are loving this. All right, well, let's jump into this show. Sean's not feeling good, so do you want to do the intro? You can skip yours if you want.
I'm just gonna say I'm Sean motherfucking Ahrent, back type 1. With me as always, my brother Nat.
Very talented, very sexy, very distinguished, always narcissistic but never vain. Staunch defender Rob Liefeld and Gina Carano, lover of all things 90s. Joseph Michael Sonntag, or Joe Sonntag if you prefer, as the Pope likes to call me, JMS, or as the chat likes to call me, Ronan Joe. Here we go on stuff. episode 252. We are rocking and rolling. We're going to be looking at Joe Mad's Darksider art. And we also have a special guest that we haven't had on for a few years now.
Couple of years.
So I'm excited to have him back. Sean, who do we got?
We got Jose Garcia.
Let's bring him on. Jose, what's going on, brother?
Stuff. Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Yeah.
Gente. Awesome.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, glad to be here, man. And talking about Joe Mad, that's a treat. That's always a treat.
Yeah. It's Sean was like, hey, if we're having Jose on, we got to look at Joe Mad stuff. And I was like, let's do it. And he's like, let's look at Darksider. Because immediately I was like, what do we pick from? Because he's got such a vast array of things to look at in his career. And we've done the whole Battle Chasers thing on one of our other shows. We looked at all the issues he did. And I was like, you could go back to his Uncanny stuff or, the Ultimates 3. And he's like, dude, let's do Darksiders. I'm like, never looked at it before. Let's go. So I'm excited. This is going to be something new for me. So let's go.
Nice. Yes.
Also, Duck Bacon's in the house. Says, hail, Joe. Hail, Sean. Hail, the chat. Hail, brother. Good to see you. AZHQ says, Mad's art has always looked like an amalgamation of J. Scott Campbell and Splat to me. Interesting.
That's
Interesting.
cool. Okay.
Let me envision that in my head for a second. It's funny because when he first came out, it was very Arthur Adams heavy with Deadpool.
Yeah.
Before he started kind of pushing it more towards that anime infused stuff, and he kind of really set the market. I thought him and Masada. I thought
once those guys found out about the Capcom art books, they were all over that, all over that style. I actually worked with a guy that was on the Cliffhanger stuff. There were, Chris Bacalo, Humberto Ramos. There was this guy I was working on. His name was Roberto Flores. He was pretty much like a copy of Joe Mad. And Roberto in his studio, he had a couple of Joe Mad originals. So that was like pretty cool.
Nice.
He had like, some sketches from some pages from Battle Chasers. So I have in the studio, A3 kind of Xerox of the pencils of maybe 4 issues, and they were
nice.
really cool. Yeah, and they have like these. They have these art books, the Capcom art books, the Darkstalkers and the Street Fighter one, and they actually had their names. Like I've heard Dan Fraga talk about this, that they used to put their name because they were usually they stole from each other. Like every artist bought their books and they stole from each other, and sometimes one guy grabbed them, and then whenever they come to their studio, someone swiped it, and it was word, and everyone was just writing their names in the covers and all that stuff. It was crazy. That copy was like super banged up, and how many careers did that book actually touch? I keep thinking of that.
Oh yeah.
We also have Derek's in the house. What's going on, brother?
What's up,
good
Derek?
to see you guys. Got some good names coming in here. I haven't seen in a second. Hoping everyone's doing well. We are talking to Jose Garcia. We're going to be talking about some of the stuff he's doing later on in the show. We're about to jump into some really badass Joe Mad art here that I'm going to see for the first time. So I'm getting into it. I'm excited.
Super chat, motherfucker.
Oh shit! Damn. My guy Christopher Bouchard says, Sean, yes, I have all 4 figures. Or those figures, they're called combat creatures. They're awesome, and I sent Joe a picture of them. Oh, sweet! I'm gonna check it out.
Very cool. Okay, cool.
While you guys are,
I'm glad that they turned around. Because sometimes with these indie properties, toy companies, they never meet their goal.
Oh yeah, let me share this.
Some
real
of the
quick.
stuff never comes up, but it's really cool, man. There's a lot of great indie toys out there.
Yeah, let me bring this up as we were talking about it.
Animal Warriors or something like that. That's cool.
Oh,
nice, dude.
Oh, these are rad. Yeah.
That's badass. Yeah. I missed out on the whole toy collecting thing. For some odd reason, I never got into it. I wish I had though, because I'm starting to now. But yeah, I know. Like I look at your collection, like Rick's collection, like all these guys. I'm like, man, I wish I got into it when I wanted to when I was younger, and I just always talked myself out of doing it. But yeah. By the way, guys, there is a goal in the chat. Look, whatever show we're on, whether it's the Spawn review or it is Ahrent stuff, if you send a $20 super chat, it's got to be $20 or more, you can pick what we look at next.
Ooh.
Yeah. But that's why it's got to be, that's why you got to pay for it, because it might be something we absolutely hate. And if that's the case, honest opinions are going to happen. But anybody, if you got something we want to look at, $20 or more super chat, and you can pick what we look at next. Jose, before we jump into looking at Joe Mad's art, I just want to jump back real quick. Like when Joe Mad got on the scene, I remember when I was younger, like I was really into the American style of art, Jim Lee, Silvestri, and all that kind of stuff. So it took me a second to get into the Capcom kind of style. But I remember when I did, there's just something really interesting about that style and just like how it's rendered, especially just the pencils. What I loved about Joe Mad stuff is if you look at just his pencil work, it's just the shading is beautiful. Everything about it is gorgeous. When did you get into him like right off the bat, or was it like me? Did it take you a second? Like how Joe impact your art growing up, I guess, as an artist?
Oh man, so Joe Mad was actually the first artist I knew by name. So I grew up with I grew up watching Spider-Man, playing video games. So my first kind of approach to comics was playing Maximum Carnage, the Super Nintendo video game, and that jumped straight up to the comics. But like I knew that there were people actually making comics, but never really cared to learn their names. But whenever in Mexico we had this revival of comics, and the first thing they reprinted was with the number one was the Onslaught Saga, and that was the Joe Mad style, with whenever Apocalypse kind of rise and you have the X-Men meeting the Avengers. That was like issue 5 in Mexico, and I just remember going to middle school, I think, and I was just walking down the street. I have some money for to get the bus, and then I just straight up see that cover, that beautiful cover when it's Apocalypse and the guy, the stone guy that kind of awakens Apocalypse, and I remember pretty much just spending all my money,
walking your asshole.
Yep.
No more bus rides. I like it.
Man. Yeah, I had to walk home for like 20 minutes, but it was totally worth it.
Yeah.
That's funny, dude.
I mean, I knew about Joe Mad because I have like a couple of video games. Like I think he did one called Gekido or something like that. He did the cover art for that. He did a couple of covers for the PlayStation magazine. He did something for Resident Evil, for Soul. I can't remember the vampire, but he did a couple of PSN covers, and I was super into that. So I already knew about the guys. Akiman Bengus, the guy that he was inspired on. So I already knew about those. So for me, it was pretty much like, man, we have some Capcom in our Marvel. So that's pretty cool. So I was like, from the get-go, I was in.
I didn't really get into Joe Mad until the Age of Apocalypse. And once those books, was it Astonishing X-Men? No. He was on that was Kubert. It wasn't Astonishing. He was what was Kubert on?
Was Amazing.
Okay, Amazing X-Men. Okay, yeah. So Astonishing X-Men, I remember the first time I picked up issue 1, there was just something about it at that time. I knew who Joe Mad was. I'd seen his work before, and it was kind of just like, it hadn't caught me yet. But I picked that up for some reason, and I was reading it. And I think it was just the way that he drew Gambit, the way that Gambit looked, the way that Magneto looked. Yeah. Like the way he stylized those characters. I was just like, I was on board after that. Like, I was like, okay, I get it. Because the whole anime manga stuff was not really appealing to me, like the faces, the pointy noses, like all that kind of stuff. Like, it took me a second to get into it. But when you look at art as a whole, the dynamics, the action, the posing, the rendering, all that kind of stuff. It was hard not to get into. And then when he went on to do Ultimates, I got the penciled version
Yes.
of that book, and it's just so damn gorgeous. I mean, just
I'll go
amazing.
grab
So
that. Give me a
freaking
second.
Yeah, go get it. Yeah.
So freaking expensive, man.
Oh,
I remember,
yeah.
it jumped out with like 4 or 5 covers. I remember getting 2 of each. I remember getting the hardcover with the black and white. And
Yeah.
I remember hunting down the big issue where he had the extra Battle Chasers stories.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Faceta world. I think it was great.
I was lucky to get one of those issues on the newsstands, or I guess the LCSs or whatever you want to call it, when it came out.
Nice.
And I had no idea like how big it was going to be, because at the time you didn't have a lot of just penciled versions of books coming out, like few and far between, right? It hadn't become like this big thing like it is kind of now. And so I was like, oh, this is really awesome. And that was one of the first times like I was really starting to fall in love with just the raw comic book art, because you didn't see that very much. And that thing blew up. Yeah, you try to go buy that now, buy even a collection of it now, and it's friggin' just, you're paying an arm and a leg for it.
Yep.
Yep, there it is.
Yes.
Yeah, and a couple kidneys. Yeah, there you go. There's oh man, I don't have that version. I've just got that one floppy, but I'd like to get the collection, the hardcover. Yeah, this is just,
the hardcover is cool.
Yeah, so some beautiful art in there.
Yeah, I saw a couple of. Yeah, sounds about right. I saw a couple of guys actually beating the shit out of each other in the LCS for this stuff.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, it was the good old days.
Yeah, the good old days. I like that. By the way, guys, in the chat, the top contributor is no longer John Epple. He fell to number 2. I don't know who's number 1. I don't see a number 1 in there anymore.
Shit,
Hail the Lore is sitting at number 1, I think, right now. Yeah, look at that, man.
Can you guys see this?
Yeah, it's coming out good.
Okay.
And the combination of Liquid and Joe Mad, like, that was always magic. Like, I remember this stuff back in the day on the X-Men, and it was like good, but nothing really impressive up until Liquid came in and they team up. Yeah.
I don't want to but like this is the
oh man, look at that.
Page.
Yeah. No, that looks awesome. Yeah, don't ruin it if you got it. Yeah.
But this is a beautiful book. Look, if you have a kid and they have a college fund, take it out and get this. You know,
that's probably my favorite work of his. Like, I love Battle Chasers, but there was something about that Ultimates they did that was fantastic. Yeah. Yep. The art is amazing. Yes, it is. The pencil work, says Sammy, here is breathtaking. Yeah, it's just so good. Speaking of breath, let's bring this up.
Yeah.
Let's bring this up. Let's get into some of this. Nope, that is not it. Where is my layouts here?
Now this site is old. I remember going to this site back in 2000. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, and it was so like they had like a questionnaire with Joe Mad, and there was one thing where he told people like up and comers, he's like, don't draw what I draw because I drew it. Figure out why I did what I did to do it. I'm like, what the fuck's that mean? I'm just gonna draw it because that's what you did. What else do I need to know? You know, like in hindsight, I was 19 maybe.
Yeah, trying to get all smart on us. Yeah.
He's trying to put one all over me. But
But that is good advice though, right? Because if you talk to industry people, they always say that, you know, like if you look too much like Turner or whoever, they're like, we already have one of those, you know, so like why? And they're on top of their game, so why would we bring you in, you know? So, but you know, it's hard as a young artist because you want to draw like your favorite artists, you know. It takes a while to break out of that mold and develop your own style, and even then, some people are still like, "Oh, you remind me of this," which is fine, you know. But
cool.
Yeah, no, I get it. Got Michael Pritchard in the house. Says hello,
buddy.
people. Hello to you, my friend, and also thank you so much for that link to the Death Blow stuff. I forgot to send that to Sean. That's my bad. I appreciate you though.
Wait, what?
I know. Remember when we did the Death Blow episode, and he said he had the black and white. He had a link to the black and white version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dropped the ball on that.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do.
was all good.
So all right, so this is the website. What do you want to take a look at, Sean?
Well, this is for there should like that city that's from Darksiders, but there should be a good place where it shows like
One nice. Yeah.
yeah, how great is that cityscape? Like that's awesome. Like I wish I could be that loose, but still be as technically profound.
Yes. See, that's what I love about it. Like that's the balance right there, is like to be loose, but also to just have that much detail and structure to your art. I'm trying to develop my style to the point where I can draw my pencils a little bit more loose like this, instead of having to always try to go so tight as I do sometimes. Just knowing some of the inkers I work with, which were great. But yeah, I take great inspiration by the pencil work of guys like Joe Mad, just and stuff like this. It's just beautifully done.
If you see that his kind of art in concept art is pretty much like a lot of silhouette, both in the backgrounds and in the characters. And I think that Joe learned a lot from doing concept art. Like I remember, talking to him at San Diego Comic-Con whenever he was presenting Darksiders, and I started to ask her so how do you do this? How do you do that? About perspective and stuff. And he pretty much just told me just focus on your, just focus on the silhouette. And he got that from Greg Capullo. The Spawn. The background. You have really some great stuff, and you have some really great environments, and they're just like silhouettes. So Joe got that from Capullo, and then he leveled up whenever he was doing all this stuff in the with the concept artists. So that was really cool to know.
First off, shout out to Michael Bancroft, who's in the chat. Great to see you, brother.
What's up, dude?
Been a second. We got Matt LaRock in here as well. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you all. By the way, wherever you're watching this, please share it out. Let people know that we're live. If you were in the YouTube chat, hit the like button. Trying to get the likes up. If you were in here, make sure you hit the likes. I want to get as many likes as people that are in the live chat. Let's do that. And if you're not, let people know we're live. Tell people to come to the YouTube channel and check it out. And Sean and I say this all the time. We give you permission to go into other people's live streams. And if you're a mod, you drop the link, you tell them to stop what they're doing and come watch us. If they get pissed off about it, you tell them to come talk to us. It's cool. All right.
Yeah, at me.
Yeah, just at me. All right. So yeah, appreciate you guys. We are talking to Jose Garcia, which has been a long time having him on. So this is great. We're also looking at Joe Mad's Darksider art from his is this his personal website? Yeah, Joe Mad.
No, this is a fan website.
Oh, this is a fan website. Okay.
Yeah.
It's been around for 20 years or more, man.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Does he have a personal website? This guy, maybe more art?
Nah, but if you go down under you could see there's tags. So you could see Darksiders. You could.
You want to do just Darksiders?
Yeah.
Okay. See what we got here. Oh, dude, look at this.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that design. I love it. As far as just concept art, just the loose, character design. I love how it's so detailed, but at the same time, you really crazy loose. You got the concept of what's going on, but man, we had on Patrick Blame last week on Ot and stuff. And he came up through Top Cow and did a bunch of stuff as well. And he was showing off his new book. Was it Thunder Beast 5,500? I can't remember what it's called. Really good looking book, but it's got a lot of this kind of anime feel to his stuff. When I talk about the fantasy anime, and that's why I see it in the stuff like Darksiders and Battle Chasers and in the designs. I'm falling in love recently with the design elements of these characters. They're just this is why I love art. This is why I love comics. Right, this stuff right here. Mike Wilson, artist in the house. Razzie stuff. Thank you, brother. Good to see you, man. Thank you for being in the chat. All right, what else we got here? Close this out. See, this whole time I thought this was his personal website. I guess I didn't check it out very.
Nah, fan website. They've been doing such great work for over 25 years.
Oh, that's great. I love the collection of it all. I love the fantasy element of these gigantic armored. Well, that
Yeah.
too, but just like the gigantic armor costumes. And Joe Mad did such a great job. Jose, this is one of the things that bugs me to no end nowadays with all the art critics out there. They want
Yeah.
people to draw so like realistic now, like just
Oh yeah,
everything
yeah.
proportions have to be real. What I love about this is like you can get away like the proportion of the characters there, but when you add all the armor, you gotta like push the shoulders back, push the arms at the head's a little bit smaller, but it shows the mass and it just shows the the mass and the weight of this character. And
He looks solid, man. Like all of Joe Mad's stuff look like super heavy and solid. And
yeah,
I think he got I mean, I don't really know the true story about this, but I've heard a couple of rumors about guys that were with Joe, and he supposedly was applying to get this job for Games Workshop to do the Warhammer 40K stuff, but
Oh.
he was rejected like every single time before, because his stuff was super manga, super cartoony, and the guys from Games Workshop never really liked that. So he decided to say like, fuck it, I'm gonna use this for my own stuff. And you
Nice.
can see it on Battle Chasers, like all the armor for Aramus and his soldiers. They are pretty much Space Marines. They are straight up Space Marines. He just added like a couple of
Nice.
fantasy elements, but they are Space Marines, man. They are Stardies, and all the stuff that he did for leading up to Darksiders. I don't know if you saw the concept art for the games that didn't make it, but
Yeah,
he, like,
Dragon.
yeah. That's like 4, right?
Yeah.
And every single one was kind of like his attempt to this Games Workshop, because he didn't ended up either on a Warhammer Fantasy or in Warhammer 40K. So he did his own versions, and once he kind of break out of that, he started doing this Darksider stuff. But there's this guy called Paul Richards, and I think he was kind of like Joe Mad's mentor. He was a little bit younger than Joe Mad, but they share like this kind of same style. So whenever you open the Darksiders art book, sometimes you cannot tell if the word if the concept art is from Paul or Joe Mad.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so there's times that whenever you see the art style and they're like super similar, but you get to see that Paul does a lot of digital, and Joe Mad was doing everything traditional at the time, so it was cool.
Hail Lore said realism is fine, but not for everything. Fantasy is fantasy for a reason. Yeah, and I think some people, I don't know, I think people just kind of forget genres of comics. Like, not everything has to be, your own version of books. Like, I think the over exaggerated bodies, the smaller heads, like Rob Liefeld just had a podcast on this on last week or something. I can't remember what the show was specifically about, but he was talking about Art Adams, and he was talking about the style that Art Adams brought when he came onto the scene, how he inspired everybody, because he drew the characters extended, the thighs and legs were extended, the arms were extended, the heads were smaller, and it just gave a dynamic look to the character. And I think that's what's kind of missing in the people that want to do this super kind of realistic, like, people are like, the head's too small. Like, yeah, it's supposed to be small. Like, it's being drawn small on purpose because it's showing the mass of the character. You're making the character bigger than life. Nobody wants to see a perfectly proportioned comic book character unless you're doing a book like, Walking Dead or something, right, where you're actually depicting actual people. But comics, fantasies, heroes, all that kind of stuff, I love the exaggerated style, and I always have to push back on that whenever I get a chance.
And you need to be stylized, to be honest, man. And he got all of that from Bangus and from Acumen from Capcom. Like, they changed their styles, like super. At first, they were like a lot super realistic, and they started becoming more and more cartoony. And you can see kind of like the peak for Bangus at the Marvel versus Capcom.
Yes.
And those were kind of perfect. And I think that Joe Matt got like a lot from that. Like you have like the super stylized muscles, the smaller heads, and I think if you see the Darkstalkers, the Darkstalkers art book, you can pretty much trace back kind of like the Red Monica kind of
Oh yeah,
kind of face from Morrigan from back in the day, from the concept art, and it's kind of cool to seeing all that come together in kind of like this American kind of super specific way, and it made it its own thing, and it's super crazy, man.
Yeah, I used to like to play Darkstalkers at the bowling alley just to see Morgan's tits go up and down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Yep.
Yep.
Sirius says Joe's got an incredible style and eye for design. First in Darksiders, then the Battle Chasers. Great expression and style fit for animation. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Sheldon Martin's in the house. He says, Hulk's head is too small. Yeah, so that's one of the characters where you should never complain about how small the head is, because that's what it's meant to be. Of course, Sheldon's here. I got to play this.
Pegging isn't new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney.
Yes, sir. You know it. Shout out to you, Sheldon. Appreciate you. Sammy says one of the great things about Mad is it's stylized, but it maintains its beauty. Yeah, and I think that's the point, right? Like, obviously things can be drawn wrong and can draw, it doesn't look right. But when you know how to exaggerate proportions to the point where it's still capturing the dynamics and, like you said, the beauty of the art, that's when you know you've done it correctly. And Joe Mad, obviously, he was a master at it, especially when he got really heavy into this style in his career.
And the cliffhanger stuff, it was all about that. Like, you have Humberto Ramos drawing like super big feet. You have like Joe Matt doing like these crazy muscles. You have like Chris Bacalo just doing crazy shit in the pages.
Yeah.
You have J. Scott Campbell doing the sexiest girls at the time.
True.
So you have like all these great guys like just pushing the limits at the time. So I think that's my favorite era in comics.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think you just nailed it right there. Pushing the limits, like I think everyone plays it safe nowadays. And I'm not talking about like indie scene, I'm talking about like the mainstream books. And there's artists that stand out. There's good art out there. Don't get me wrong, because whenever I say that, someone always asks me and be like, "Oh, so and so is really good." I'm like, I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying the stylistic, the pushing the limits, trying what you will to see what sticks era was the best in comics, and that was like late 90s. Well, yeah, pretty much any era of the 90s into the early 2000s. I think there was a lot of artists coming up and we're still doing that. Now things they're played more safe, and it's something that just bugs me when I go to the LCS and I look at artists that all look the same at Marvel and DC. It seems like
they look like storyboards, man. Kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like an unofficial art house style. I don't know, but it's kind of like lazy.
Yeah.
But you can see mostly that I've seen this a lot in the most modern comics. Like they have all these kind of like art college style. I don't know. Like they focus a lot on the characters, but they don't do like crazy shots. They don't do like crazy backgrounds. Like you can see like pretty much like cookie cutter kind of style, kind of like something like Disney, something like the very indies, like Becky Cloonan, kind of like that style. And it's weird because comics for superhero comics are supposed to you just open the the comic and you are supposed to see some kick-ass art that bash your tits out. So, that's how I think. And nowadays it's very far in between the great artists.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. And I look at a piece like this, it's on the screen right now, and the composition is great, but just the amount of movement that's in this piece because of the tattered cape and everything. It's just there's energy in a static, if that makes sense. There's energy in like this static pose, but like the good artists could do that And you do that by just kind of pushing the limits. And then besides that, the detail in this is insane. That sword I've been staring at while we've been talking for the last couple minutes is just like the thought process in it. Like I didn't realize like all the different faces and the skulls and the texture and stuff like this. I don't know how long it took him to do this, but good Lord, it's so inspiring.
The line quality. Yeah. Sorry, Sean. Go.
No, I was just gonna say he was just on Mark Miller's podcast.
Yeah,
I watched that today. It was
I need
very
to watch
good.
that. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. I'm sorry.
It was the Game Awards like a couple years ago, promoting the airship, his stuff that he's doing with Battle Chasers. I think he was promoting League of Legends game, and he was like for like maybe like 5 minutes with the guy with the Game Awards. It was kind of weird seeing him, in there, like treated like some random development when in the comics he's like a legendary. He's a legend, a legendary comic book artist. So it's a super different kind of places to be. But what I love about this piece and that something that keeps me up at night, it's Joe Mad line weight on all of his stuff.
Oh yeah,
because he keeps everything super separate. Like you can see what's like right in front of you, what's behind. And it has all of these details, and you don't lose anything because his way is so good.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Line weight is so important, and it's not everybody can do it correct. I mean, it's tricky, and I'm talking from somebody that is trying to improve on line weight and everything too. But yeah, it's so easy to draw something like this and then lose the image because you have this beautifully detailed sword in front of a detailed costume that's being held, like, and there's so much going on in that little space, and I can still see with my naked eye everything perfectly. The pose, the knee, the arms, the head, the hands, nothing gets lost in it. Yeah, so that's a great point.
Even the debris, if you see there, he used another kind of pencil in there, so it looks like a little bit grayish instead of black.
Yeah,
and it gives a lot of depth. So yeah, he was a genius like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. League of Legends wouldn't look as good today if there was no Mad. No, yeah.
True.
Yeah,
I got to meet him in 2013.
Lucky.
At New York Comic Con where I got the stuff signed. Man, like I really wanted to go like full blown like geeky stalker on him, but I was just like, I know. But like I held my composure. I asked him the questions I asked him, and he was just a cool dude. And I'm like, can I take a picture with you? And he's like, yes. So I'm like, okay.
I love it.
Super chat, motherfucker.
We have Christopher Bouchard again for $5. Thank you, brother. Says, Joe, we're going to see the Brett Booth Reaper Destroyer 2 cover, and I hope you post it because I need a computer wallpaper. Yes, at the end of the show, I'm going to show off the Brett Booth cover for Reaper Destroyer issue 2. Nice. Right to wrap it up. And yeah, I will post it on social media probably tomorrow. Probably won't be tonight, but I'll do it tomorrow for sure. Joe's got a particular vibe that gives everything weight and makes everything feel alive.
Yeah.
Great observation. It's just, I mean, you cannot help but get inspired. I mean, and again, looking at a lot of this stuff is just sketches, and this isn't even like the finished comic book art like you would see in like Ultimates or Battle Chasers or anything like this. This is just the pure character design sketches, which I think sometimes I really love seeing because there's so much energy and just the very loose lines that you can put down on a page. Sometimes that gets lost when it gets rendered out. Joe doesn't have that problem because he keeps the energy, but I do like some of these just really loose designs to look at. I don't know why, but it's really appealing to my eyes.
Yeah. He got all this silhouette going on. If you just trace the silhouette, like you can see like there is not much going on.
Yeah.
But inside, what he does is he does all the muscles and all that stuff with the shadows, and that really brings everything together. And I think that he got a lot of his style, his monsters, and all that stuff from all of the Japanese stuff. Like I can see a lot of like a lot of RPGs. Just kind of all these tropes, like behind all these sketches. Like Whenever I talk to him, I did one full geek on with Joe Matt.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Well, you got balls. I don't.
Yeah, I had the permission of Humberto Ramos. So Humberto,
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
yeah, so he was the one that introduced me to Joe Matt, and he was like Humberto. He was like, like knock yourself out. And I talked with Joe Matt for like 30 minutes about like like games and stuff. And I was
everything.
like, oh yeah, I like Gekido, I like all this stuff, I like this and that. And he was like, oh yeah, so my main inspirations was kind of like Bangus, Akiman, and all these 2D side scroller from Capcom. So you can see right now in the PS5s and stuff, you will there's like for $1 you can get like Captain Commando and all that stuff. And there's one about kind of like fantasy. I can't remember what's the name.
Lunari?
That was one, but the other one, it's something super generic, like sword and sorcery, something like that. And and it has kind of like these Bangus and these Akiman designs, and you can see all the monster designs that Joe Matt kind of. I think he swiped some of them, but at the same time he brought kind of a lot of inspiration from those. And the one with the tiger on Capcom, Earth something. It was like a fighting game of monsters, and you can see a lot of the designs, kind of like the shoulder pads. You can see the kind of like the even the proportions of the weapons and stuff. You can see the origin of Joe Matt coming from that game, and it was pretty cool.
That's so cool.
Super chat,
I love
motherfucker.
it. We got a member chat from Rick Saylor for 33 months. Look at that. He says, "Don't be a bum." Back type 1. That is absolutely true. Listen to the man who knows.
I just finished page 42 today, so we're almost there. We're getting there.
I can't pronounce that. Komodo's influence from when he worked on games like Dark Stalkers has a huge influence on Mad's style.
Yeah.
His design would make an insane Appleseed video game. Yeah.
Man, I haven't seen Appleseed for a while, and it was wild.
Oh yeah.
It changed American comics forever.
I was just gonna say that's the funny thing about Appleseed is like so many of our favorite artists back in the day said that Appleseed was Jim Lee was inspired by Appleseed, Rob Liefeld, guys like that. Like it really once that kind of came in and that style came into American comics, American comic styles, it really did revolutionize, specifically in my opinion, the '90s. But yeah, that's a big name when you state that.
Here in the private chat, I dropped the Paul Richards Darksiders stuff. It's a blog spot from back in 2013. I want you to check it out so you can compare Joe Matt stuff and Paul Richards, so you can get kind of like
let me see
a visual reference of what he learned in there.
Yeah, let me look at it real quick and bring something up. Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Lots of okay, let me grab something.
The environments are pretty much something that both Paul and Joe did like super well, and they piggyback off of each other. So they have like this super similar style, but you will see that Paul kind of characters are more cartoony, and the girls are both sexier but nastier. So that's not safe for work. He pretty much kept that from. He was kept from drawing the girls in the concept art.
Oh yeah, no, I can see that. Let me see if I can.
This is beautiful.
Let me go back to. That what I've got here on the screen is awesome. I'm trying to look at the Paul stuff on the other screen, so sorry about that.
Yeah,
go ahead, Sean. Talk about it.
We did the screen there because he sometimes he puts some nasty stuff in between.
Yeah, I'm trying to find something that I could bring up that would be a good comparison because I see what you're saying. Yeah. That's a cool concept. Bring that up.
Now this guy's an adorable little alien or a demon.
Yeah.
I've never beaten the first game just because I have to the attention span of an amoeba. So while I did buy the games and have them, I've never gotten that far. I just watch videos of people playing them.
Oh, they're good. They're so good, man.
Oh yeah, like
I've never played it myself either.
I haven't played 3, and I'm trying to play Genesis. But yeah, the first and the second one are super cool.
In terms of the game, I didn't even know it existed until I saw a documentary about it, because I was out of the loop when it popped up.
Great gesture.
Yeah, so here's the Paul. Where did I go? Where'd the page go?
Yeah,
There
it
it
was
is.
so much more cartoony.
Yeah, I do like that though. I mean, I definitely see a lot of the similarity, and then the environments. I mean, some of this stuff.
Yeah, you could probably tell that that's Joe Matt.
Yeah. I could see that. That's cool as shit. Yeah, I could see the influence there, playing off each other.
Yeah, I remember Joe Matt doing like a super old YouTube interview when he was talking how Paul kind of taught him how to do digital stuff, and he was battling. He was really struggling with that. But yeah, he was Paul that kind of gave like Joe Matt all this stuff, and yeah, it was kind of crazy meeting both of them together doing the Darksiders stuff.
Yeah, super fantasy. I love that. That's great. Let's look at a couple more shots here of the Joe Mad page, and then we'll see what Jose Garcia's got going on as well.
Oh man, you're putting me after following Joe Mad. How can I follow that?
Tish Tosh.
I don't know. Is this for the layout for the comics or?
No, it's for the. I think it's for the movie of the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the cinematics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good though. I just love the layout for it. Just the loose. Oh man, it's just so much energy. And I say this all the time when it comes to page layout. And granted, this isn't a comic book. I get it, but it's basically a comic book page. Yep. The energy, the dynamics that you see in the page layout to me nowadays is so important to the actual panels itself, because you can go so boring with it. You can go traditional, just panels, gutters, all that kind of stuff, or you could, spice it up and make the entire page a work of art. When you look at something like this, the entire page gives you that sense of motion and power. And this is just a loose sketch. It's not rendered out, and I can just look at this right off the bat and just be like, man, I'm in love with looking at this piece of art.
Mm-hmm.
The color theory that they use for each of the realms is beautiful. Like one is different than the other, but they're so rich and beautiful. Like whoever picked it, is a fucking genius. Like it's just so elegant. It's great. Like
John Snowden's in the house. What's going on, brother?
What's up, John? Good to see you.
The end of the first game was like for me was one of those things that you will never forget. Whenever you defeat the last boss, and you're gonna start kind of like the Armageddon and stuff.
Yeah.
And you have like War looking at the at the screen, and he's like saying like, yeah, and my brothers are here, and you see like the three asteroids coming down. It was so funny.
Yeah.
This is amazing. So, like I said, a lot of this stuff I haven't seen before. So this is I didn't really know too much about the Darksiders game or the arts. So I was excited when Sean was like, check out the website, So I glanced through it, but I wanted to kind of experience seeing some of this stuff for the first time with you guys in the chat. And this is a gorgeous.
We'll do this.
Here.
I know you're gonna be. I know you're gonna be locked up in the studio this weekend.
Yeah.
Look up some of the Darksiders interviews from like the first two games and the documentaries. There's
I saw the documentary.
A bunch of beautiful shit. Like this is I think this is for the opening.
Yep.
Oh,
the
okay.
First one.
Nice.
So like this, like even though he's doing it in the comic book, it's the frames of.
And you can see way more backgrounds in this concept art more than he ever did in his comic book career, which is
which is funny, right? You would think the other way around. Like with Battle Chasers, he's like, I'm not drawing,
a lot of background.
Anymore.
Yeah,
I'm going to draw trees.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
We're away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
no,
the Ultimate State, he drew like maybe like 5 buildings, and he got away with that too.
Yeah.
well, I get that. 'Cause one, I mean, drawing buildings is such a boring task. Like sometimes I get into it, but other times I'm like, all right, I've been
It's
doodling
there.
away at all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
I'll
got
leave
some.
the damn.
He got other concept art in Francis Manapool, Iron and
Yes.
the Maiden. He has like a couple pages with backwards and stuff. It's really cool too.
There was a video game company that did Ratchet and Clank, I think it
Oh
was.
yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah.
and that guy did a book with Aspen back
Yep.
in 06, and Francis Manipold drew the characters. And
Yeah.
then what's his
backgrounds.
the backgrounds was by what's his name? Joel.
He did the Authority comics, I think.
Yeah. So it was cool that they had one guy do one and one guy do another.
Yep.
Beth Sotelo husband. Met them in Hawaii. Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful couple. But yeah, I thought that was interesting.
I learned backgrounds from that guy.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yeah. Ever
Nice.
since I learned that you could do like animation kind of pipeline in comics, I was
Yeah.
booking him at San Diego Comic Con, and he taught me like a lot of crazy shit. And he introduced me to Jeff Matsuda, and
Dude.
yeah, and he introduced me to other guy called Nola Novena, and he did like all the backgrounds from the Jackie Chan animated
yeah.
series. I always thought that they were super cool, and I try to being the being the kid with the portfolio always in your arm and stuff. I was always nagging the hell out of them in every single con, asking for tips, and it worked out.
Nice.
I was the same way with like Liefeld and Marat. Like, even these guys are there to sell their shit and like sign comic books, but here I am behind the table with them. I'm like, hey, how do you do that? And they're like, I'll tell you later. I'm like, yeah, but I need to know now. I need to go home and make my comic book so I can be working for you.
Yeah, man. I got told that I was a fucking broke ass student, and I was told I can remember who was it, but I was like, look, man, I know that you have the spark on your eye, but I need to sell my shit, and I cannot. I cannot be bothered by broke ass students, and I keep remembering that every single time. Yeah.
Sammy Sadek said, more importantly, comics need to allow artists to open up and be less rigid with what they can create visually. And I agree with that.
Yes, I like
1,000%.
Nice.
Sean Martin said, Joe Maldorero's stuff is amazing. Okay, let's see what you got, Jose. I think we all understand it's hard to enact to follow. Well, I mean, it's like most of the art we look on this channel is a hard act to follow. I mean, like, trust us, we'll look at like Silvestri and then we'll bring up our projects, or we'll look at Jim Lee and then we're like, by the way, look at our stuff, so it is what it is,
Yep, it is what it is.
John Stone said, I'm the same as Sean, attention to span of a goldfish at both Darksiders and Battle Chasers for Switch, but only played a few hours of each. Nice.
Did you get the art of the Battle Chasers? Because I haven't seen it. I've never seen that.
No, like I backed the Kickstarter. I backed the highest tier. It was like, I don't know, like $500 or something, and it got delayed. Like maybe he delivered the game like after 5 or 6 years after we finished the Kickstarter. I got all of the Battle Chasers on Joe Matt's site. He does have a site where you could put the code and have all his comics, but he never delivered the art. I think it was never produced, the art of Battle Chaser, the game. I think that was never ever produced, but all the other stuff he did deliver, except that, because I remember waiting for that, and it never came out.
Oh, okay. Because I heard a rumor that it was like cheaply made.
I think that there was like a couple of those floating around.
Yeah,
but they were mostly like Ludo Lullaby stuff and other concept artists, and it was like there wasn't really a lot of Joe Matt stuff besides the cover and maybe like a couple of pinups inside. But it was like pretty much like it was kind of like a little lullaby sketchbook more than anything.
Which is awesome. He's very talented, but
I like him. He's no Joe Matt.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like Little Chasers 9, really cool Ludo, but I want Joe Matt to do all this shit, you know?
Well, in the podcast he just did with Miller, he said that he's getting an itching to do sequential work again. Maybe a 3 to 4 issues.
I hope
and it's
so,
probably
man.
going to be Battle Chasers.
It better be.
It better
We
be,
have some covers for the upcoming Age of Apocalypse, so that's cool. And
Yeah.
let's see if that gets him going to get some sequential.
It would be awesome to see him kind of come back and do some work, even if it was like a 3-issue miniseries or something.
I'm good with that.
I'm fine with that as well. Just come back and do some sequential art. It's been too long. I want to see it again. So I hope he does get that itch.
Wolverine stuff, man. Like those, he did like 2 issues, and those went hard, like really, really hard, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That Spidey, Wolverine, and the Inhumans.
That's what that
powerful.
Yeah, and he was just out of retirement, and he just put that out, and that kept us going for a couple of years, you know.
Yeah.
John's Long Box is in the chat. Says Jose is the best. We agree with you, John.
Wow.
Yes.
By the way, great interview with JR. If you guys haven't checked out his channel,
oh no shit.
I think he also has Mark Miller coming on as well. So guys, go sub to John's channel. John, I'm gonna mod you up if you're not a mod. Where you at? Let me mod you up in the chat. Drop your link so people can go sub to your channel. Let me get you here in a second. All right, there we go. Mod you. Add as moderator. There you go, John. Drop a link to your channel. Everybody go sub to John Longbox's channel. He's got some really good stuff going on over there.
Nice.
All right. Okay.
Before we close out, I want to see if there's some stuff like for Death.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like the character of Death?
Yeah.
Let's see.
The one
To the left, y'all.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. That's the one.
That's one of the first incarnations of Death.
Yeah, I love the character. This is one of my favorite. I didn't realize that this was Death, but the stuff I've seen out of this was my favorite character design. I've seen some sick art from this character.
I love the shoulders, man, and the thin, and they're very thick shoulders, and the super slim arms are always a winning combination.
Yep.
I'm with you, and like we were talking about before, the art snobs, where they're like, "Oh, you shouldn't draw like that because it doesn't look like this." You don't blow me. You know, this looks cool in my head, so this is what I'm drawing.
It's like it's fantasy art, right? Like it doesn't need like it was comic books, but comic books are fantasy. You know, like it's the place for stylistic liberties as well. You know, like it doesn't matter if a character if you can have that kind of shape in real life. It's like, what is it that's pleasing to the eye? This dynamic to look at this, you know, and when I see this, the skinny waist, the big shoulders, the muscles, like there's energy and dynamics in this character as he's just standing there, and then you throw in the little bit of the whisk of the hair, of a little bit of wind going on, just gives it that movement, some what is that, steam, fog, whatever, on the bottom, just kind of giving this thing movement. I mean, just those people can blow me. I don't care about the art snobs. Let me see if I can find another.
Right there, Darksiders 2. Next to with the picture we were just at. There's a tag.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one is awesome. His silhouettes are crazy, man. Like I always love how he between a fight he always puts just like a silhouette. It was crazy. Yeah.
This is so inspiring.
Yes.
Yeah, I've said it before. Like with Reaper Destroyer, I'm pushing it into more of a fantasy direction than the first issue, which had fantasy elements in it. But I decided that's really the direction I want to go as far as the story goes. I'm trying to add some more kind of fantasy style of art, be it in my style, you know, going forward with issue 2 and plus, because I really want to separate it from like the spawns and the darkness and all that kind of stuff that's out there. And I've really been getting inspiration from the more fantasy style of art, specifically I guess if you want to call it like the anime or manga style or Capcom style, that kind of stuff. So again, like this was right up my alley for what I've been looking at lately. Like this is
like that right there.
inspired.
I took for like my death rates for the Lords of the Night. I'm like, fuck, that's such a cool visual. Like, let me just do my own little twist on it, and maybe go from there. Because we shouldn't be pigeonholed into one thing to say this is how it is, this is how this should be. Blah, 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 blah. So it's our own worlds we're creating. Like there should be no safeguards. You know, like it doesn't matter as long as the rule of cool of school and like it fits with the story. Go to town. You know.
And you can tell here with Joe Mack how he started playing Diablo and all that stuff because he has like a lot of stuff inspired by Blizzard. So you can actually tell that whenever he started playing like a lot of video games. And I think that's cool because you can tell, but at the same time, it's its own stuff, you know?
Yeah.
What's going on with this page? Why can't I go back?
The text?
No.
No.
Yeah, like I can't. It's not letting me.
Yeah.
All right, weird. Well, let me go home and just keeps the same picture. All right. Well, I mean, I guess that's a good place to kind of pull that down. Yeah,
and
that was.
Let's do this. Let's make this be a part 1, and then we can have Jose on. You know, in the not too distant future, and then look at number 2. And then 4, and then other shit. Because I think this all kind of really goes well.
And I would love sometime to look at the Ultimates too, with Jose on here, because I think that we could really geek out on some of that. The finished
for sure,
you know. Man, that'd be so awesome.
I just gotta figure out a way to properly film it because the paper is very glossy.
Yep.
And like I am so precious with it. Like I'm more precious with this thing than I am my own prick. So. Like, it's very expensive, but we'll make it happen. We'll definitely make it happen.
Yeah, no,
I usually just go for scans on the internet. Like some of them are real good, man.
Yeah. There's some good scans of that on this page as well.
Nice.
Yeah, and I've been actually disappointed. Oh yeah, so everybody check out John. Not only his page, but also he's got a comic called Heroic Tales 2. So go check that out. Yeah. So guys, go check it out. Dropping links, appreciate it.
Just on FMC.
I think it's only on.
I think
Fund My Comic. Fund My Comic. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, so go check that out, guys. I see nothing but doneness. Oh, we're talking about the all right, let me bring up what you got going on. Jose, where's that? There it is. Too many pages open. Let's talk about what you got going on lately. What's this all about?
So this is my new book. I decided to go all the way out with trying to push the limits on my own stuff. This is Club Banfleur. This is kind of my epic that I'm going to try to do for the rest of my life. I have like three comics that I want to lean into. This is the first one. It's kind of like a steampunk story. I actually learned to color like this kind of concept art for just doing the covers and stuff. So that was pretty cool. And if you see the art style, I'm going for a way more kind of like Victorian style, kind of like engraving. So when you see the pages, you're gonna think that I'm crazy, but that's the way that I like my comics. Style.
Oh, you make me so sick. This is so good.
I was just gonna say, we always have to explain it for people that might not watch the show very often. If you guys are tuning in. When we say sick, it's our highest level of compliment, like, so we have a sick list, like artists that make us sick, so like when we use the word sick, it's the highest level. This artist makes me sick. And this definitely falls into this. Like, I'm loving
no
this
disrespect
kind of
on this end. Like, this is
awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah, man. And you can tell that, all the cross hatching, like my style, the way before, whenever I came the last couple of years with Lumina Bugs, it was like very animation, but I try to bring back my cross hatching in here, so you can most of that stuff. It has the gray tones and the gray the grayscale, but most of it is done in the inks. So I had my fun in here doing all the cross hatching in the world, and yeah, I think it's pushing the limits, at least for my style.
Yeah, no, this is looking awesome.
This is like leaps and above from like the graveyard shift stuff and everything else he done prior. This is like
Thanks, man.
Bernie Wrightson level of intricacy.
I was just
that's one of my inspirations. Yeah.
Well, there you go. I was about to say, like, I can see like in the detail in this chemist set or whatever it is. Yeah, like yeah.
Yeah, I had that open for like a couple of days when I was working on that one.
Sure.
Yeah, that's insane,
Hell
man.
yeah.
That's insane. Yeah, the chat's loving this too.
Nice.
Loving the art. Yep. By the way, shout out to YSA who jumped into the chat. We also have Dennis Kelly here.
Nice.
I don't know if I gave shout outs to, I think I got everybody that's been in here. If I haven't yet, just know I love you. Damn the Alambic? Why can't I pronounce that?
I don't know, man. I'm as well.
Whatever it is crazy detail.
Good. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, that's all that matters. It's awesome. Yeah, Lady Mechanica definitely has that feel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, that Joe Benitez feel to that.
Yeah.
with the
I
steampunk.
love that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
those were like kind of like the early pencils, but then I do all the cross hatching.
Nice.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, dude, I'm liking this, man. This looks awesome.
Thanks, man. So,
Yeah.
yes,
Wow, look at that. It's just you're crazy, man. You're crazy. Look at
that's
this.
having fun with the art, man.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So let me ask you a personal question. Do you like sip on some like ayahuasca and then turn on the Cintiq and then go to town? Like,
No.
how do you warm up?
No, but I did. I do love to go to Burning Man whenever the opportunity arises. But
Okay,
yeah,
I'll
man.
believe it.
Yeah, but I have done a lot of ayahuasca DMT back in the day. I love
Okay.
DMT.
I've heard.
Yeah, man. But I have to be sober to do this. To be honest, I cannot either smoke weed or drink.
You can't drink and draw?
Yeah, no, not draw. No.
Yeah.
I can't. I get way too, I don't know, loose with the drink. So I try to keep it. All the crazy stuff goes into the page.
There you go. That's
I like
awesome.
it.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. I know I've already Hill Lore has done it, but I'm going to drop it in there and then pin it up to the top, guys. So if you get a chance, go check this out. Consider backing it as we were looking at this. Just fantastic art. And this is the kind of stuff you want to support. You know, like this is passion. You can say passion goes into this. You can tell it.
Yeah.
You know, with just the amount of work and care and detail that goes in this kind of stuff. So definitely check this stuff out, guys, for sure.
You can see some Chris Bacalo in there. Cold Black.
Oh, yeah.
Related arm. Yep.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
so
Steampunk
cool.
from Chris Bacalo was a great inspiration for this too.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Look at that.
Some
Damn.
backgrounds.
Good
It's like,
lord,
what
man.
else?
Holy shit. How long did it take you to draw this?
Half a day.
Jesus.
That's insane. That'd take me like, a year
Weeks. Yeah.
to draw all that detail.
Wow.
Wow.
Whenever you draw like that many buildings, like you can mess a couple of, and no one will notice. So that's
Good point. Good point.
and that's what I was talking about, like Joe Mad with the silhouettes. Like whenever you do the silhouette right, like whatever is inside of that silhouette, like you can have a couple of mistakes, and nobody will notice because the silhouette is what pops out. So if the silhouette is right, if it's in the right perspective, and if it's kind of giving the right expression, like you can get away with so much.
Yeah. Wow. This is good. Inspiring stuff, man.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Damn, yeah.
Took the words out of my mouth. Yeah. Absolutely inspiring.
Beautiful. So, I mean, how much of this is are you still working on, or is it done? I gotta imagine something like this takes a lot, but you seem like you're a pretty fast artist compared to Sean and me.
Yeah, definitely.
So I started on Christmas, and I'm already lettering, but I had to finish like maybe a couple of other books in between. So I right now I just need to finish like the last 5 pages, on lettering, and I need to translate it into English. And once I get the go ahead, it will go to print. So maybe next, maybe 7 to 10 days max.
Wow.
So it's already finished, and yeah, I'll be sending the digital rewards in a couple of weeks, maybe.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I gotta back this for sure. I don't want to miss out on this. Yo.
There's a tier with where it, I'm doing this right now, but there's a tier where you can have the digital deluxe, and it will have kind of like the process of all the books, of all the pages. So you will have
Nice.
sketch, inks, render, and final grade for every single page, and there
Nice.
are 80 of them. Yep.
Wow.
I would
Dude,
highly
that's
suggest
great,
that to
man.
any upcoming creator. If you want to learn the process of this fantastic artist,
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
Get that.
Definitely. Links are in the chat, guys. Definitely go check this out. Definitely back this. I don't think you want to miss out on this. That's for sure. I'm going to back this project after we get done with the show. Needs more backers. 144. Let's get more of this. More people. Guys, do me a favor if you can. If you're in the chat, you're watching the show. The link's right there. Share it on social media as well. The word of mouth is a great way of getting all this stuff out there for people who might not see it. You know, so let's do that as well.
There's a super chat, motherfucker.
Damn, Christopher Bouchard's going crazy in the chat tonight. Says, I like Joe's new Wolverine cover artwork. I should bring that up because we've been talking about it a couple times.
Yeah.
So, Sean, did you send that to me in a text or did you message that to me?
I sent it to you a text.
All right, I'll just here. Let me.
Wait, what was the thing? Was it $20? Does it have to be $20 together or at once?
Well, I was just thinking to
Per
myself,
person.
I was going to be a $20 and up, but Christopher has sent 17 so far, so he's almost there. If he hits the $20 himself, I'll let him choose what we will look at next.
Okay.
But yeah, the whole goal is if he sends a $20 or more super chat, you can pick what we look at next on that and stuff. But just be warned, that doesn't mean we have to like it.
Yeah.
Let me see
Get
if I
some
can.
bronies in here, and you will have something to laugh for a couple of weeks. You know.
Yeah. All right, let me send this to my computer and bring this up because Sean did send this Wolverine, the Age of Apocalypse cover, and it looks really, really awesome. Let me bring this up.
I'm excited, man, with the Age of Apocalypse stuff. That's something that's bringing me back to Marvel for a while. I've been kind of out, but these covers and I remember the Chris Bachler run on Age of Apocalypse, and that was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to see who's the next artist and what they have next, because Age of Apocalypse is one of the greatest stuff that Marvel has done.
I love it.
Preach.
So many people that grew up in that era hold that story in such high regard.
Jeff Lowe's writing it.
Yeah, it was well, and it was just for the time. It was a great idea, you know, to take what the standard X-Men stuff that we had been seeing for years and completely throw it on its head and completely switch it up in ways and see the characters in different ways. You know, yeah, the Age of Apocalypse. I'm huge on. Love that storyline, and I always love the character of the Wolverine character design in this, and missing the hand, still having the claws, the face paint, the war paint, and all that stuff.
Isn't it kind of weird seeing Joe Matt art being inked in 2025? Yeah, you know, like I see this, and this is like the inks are sharp, and they are doing the cell shade on this one, which is kind of crazy. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I haven't seen this since Spider-Man, so I'm kind of trying to get used to, because I really love the painterly stuff, you know.
Yeah, no, this is some beautiful stuff. And you're right. Yeah, I didn't even think about that with the whole inking, because it's been a while since you've seen Mad stuff actually inked and not just taken right off the pencils.
Yep.
Shel Marston, is it who gets over 20 first or who gets the highest over 20?
Both.
Who gets 20? Who gets over 20 first? That's what it is. Yeah, you don't have to compete with each other for the highest over 20. If I was greedy, I'd say yes, but you should. But yeah, whoever gets over that 20 mark first can pick what we watch or we look at next. That's the deal. Yeah. Now that's Wolverine. I'm so excited. Like I don't even. And what sucks is this is going to make me go buy this book with whoever
Just for
is
the
drawing,
cover.
whoever's drawing it, and I don't know if it's going to be any good, but I will definitely get this cover. I don't know when it comes out, but yeah, I'm definitely all about it. All right, you guys still got some time. Christopher Bouchard's got $2 or $3 more, and he hits that $20 mark. If anybody hits that, we will do. You guys get to pick what we watch, or why do I keep saying that? What we look at next week on Ahrent stuff. Chris is in the house. Good to see you, man. Says Wolverine on steroids. Love it. Yes.
Yep.
Joe has the post feet pick for $100 super chat. That's true. That is true. Send $100 super chat, and you guys get feet picks. Let's do it.
I got Kayla's feet. I'll definitely send that for $200.
Nice.
You got Kayla's feet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go. Make some money. I like it.
It's really mine.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. We'll just say. Well, yeah. You don't really know because it's well manicured. That's all you got to do. I like it.
Yeah. Come on.
Our guy Paul's in the house.
Paul.
You know what Paul did? He went out and
do?
got Curse of Shirley Johnson because of the Spawn review the other week. So, Paul, I forgot to tell you this. Do me a favor though. Post it that you got it on X, and then tag Jonathan Galapian and Daniel Enriquez and Tom McFarlane and tell them that you got it because you watched it, and then tag us on the Spawn review. Give them a shout out. That's what we want to do. Anytime somebody picks up a book after you see it from the Spawn review or something we did on Ahrent stuff, tag it and let people know you got it because of us, because we want our credit.
Yeah, it was our flowers.
You know? Yeah, flowers. Give it to them. All right, guys. Let's take a look at the Brett Booth cover for Reaper Destroyer before we end the show here. Let me get this all prepared. I'm not going to do a countdown like I usually do. We're just going to jump into it. I've shown off the inks, by the way, inked by the inker on the book, Marlo Elquiza, who is a fantastic inker, just inked the shit out of this. And then my colorist, Dave Kemp, went in and colored the hell out of it, and it looks beautiful. So here we go. Without further ado, is that a word?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Without further ado, here is the cover for Reaper Destroyer 2 by Brett motherfucking Booth. Let's go.
Damn.
Zoom in here. Get all the beautiful details.
Nice.
There we go.
Shout out to Brett for doing this. I was on his waiting list for a while. I actually completely forgot I was on his waiting list. So he texted me one day and be like, "Hey, dude, you're up. What would you like?" And be like, "Cover?" He was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And so he knocked this out. He was like, "Do you want anything specifically?" I was like, "Dude, you're Brett motherfucking Booth. Just draw my character however you want. Here's the character design. Do whatever you want, and that's fine with me." So he knocked this out, sent it back. I've got the pencils sitting over here, nice and protected. And I've got the inked version by Marlo sitting over here, nice and protected. And just seeing it all come together, seeing him take his take on my character has been absolutely amazing. To see Booth just draw this.
Colors, man.
Yeah, and then shout out to Dave, right? Shout out to Dave we were doing some experiment. We want to do some experiment with the palette on this book in general. And so we took the chance to do it with the cover of some of the colors we want to bring into the book that's different than issue 1. And I was just like, dude, here's my ideas, experiment, do some stuff. And he came up with a couple different concepts and came up with this. And I was like, dude, I love this. I love this so much. So yeah, the Brett Booth cover.
Yeah.
I'm excited to show this off. This will be premiered on the sign-up sheet for Reaper Destroyer issue 2. By the way, we have 167 orders still to send out, and those will be going out here hopefully in the next few weeks. I will be going on vacation here in the next couple weeks. I'm going to try to do as much as I can, but this thing is almost completely done, and we can actually get rocking and rolling on promoting issue 2 that we will hopefully drop in. I was going to do July, but it's probably going to be more like September or August or September at this point. So, but
for the mailing list or for the campaign?
The actual campaign. The mailing list I'm going to drop hopefully before I go on vacation just to get that out there and going. But yeah, no, just dream come true. Some of the people I've been able to work with on this project, the Dale Keown cover with issue 1, which was amazing. Now, Brett Booth, I mean, it's insanity. Insanity. Yeah.
That looks so shiny. It will look crazy if you get kind of like these metallic prints. These will look good on this one. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I didn't do any of that with the first issue. I might do that with the second issue because I've been wanting to, and it's just that there's sometimes I gotta find the right company to do it that does it well, because there are some like foil covers and stuff that don't come out as well, you know, as you expect them to, and then it's like, oh man, I just wasted my money. So I really want to do some research before I do anything like that with a cover like this. But yeah, I agree with you. That would absolutely.
Plus, our guy disappeared.
Who? Oh yeah, our
printer.
The original guy, yeah, he just dropped off the face of the earth.
That sucks.
Yeah, and he had some cool concepts. He was a small printer. He had some really cool concepts of things that they would experiment with, you know, and I always liked that about him, but then he just I don't know what happened to him.
Yep.
Yeah, I will post this image. I mean, this is I think this is this the high res? No, this isn't the high res, which is fine. But I'll post this image on social media at some point, probably tomorrow. Yeah, feel free to grab it up, guys, and do it up. I know that there's a couple people out there that are doing fan colors of this, and I've gotten to see some sneak previews, and I think that stuff is looking good as well. And you know, I love the fact that you get to see people wanting to do, you know, fan colors, fan inks, and this kind of stuff when it comes out. So that's awesome. So awesome. Wiley J Draws is in the house. Vacation is for slackers. Ooh. Oh man, no, I need it. I need vacation. Going all the way to California, going to Disneyland. That's where we're going.
You're going on a plane?
No, fuck that. We're driving, man.
Oh,
yeah. No, I don't fly, man. Yeah, Scotsman is doing a version of this as well. I got to see a look at that. It's looking really cool. Who's the other? There's another guy doing it. I can never remember his name. Something Ninja. I don't know. But that is the cover for Reaper Destroyer 2 preview there for you guys who are in the chat and patiently waited. Appreciate you all. Be on the lookout for that because we're going to start hyping that up here coming up soon. As soon as we get the rest of that campaign out, which should be here shortly. But yeah, we were really excited about
super
it.
Chat, motherfucker.
Oh shit! Thank you, Scotsman. My man, it says beautiful. Mine will be done Friday. Sweet. We're looking forward to seeing it. Definitely make sure you post it, tag us all in it. I'm looking forward to it. Don't be a bum. Back type 1. Before we get out of here, we can't talk. Well, we can't talk. We can't get out of here before talking about, is what I meant to say. Shit, where'd the page go?
Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o.
Oh, that's right. My hold on a second. Let me bring it up. My computer updated. What was that? The last Ahrent stuff? No.
Oh, yeah.
It was Spawn review? Whatever it was. My computer updated and completely shut down all my shit. So I got to look up type 1 real quick.
Well, here's your spiel. Find out why the mysterious Type 1 armor chose Thomas the Heart, and what connection it has to the 9 Lords of the Night from Maya and Aztec lore, and why Thoth and Anunnaki created these safeguard armors centuries ago to protect us from false gods and beyond, all in the pages of Type 1.
Yes, that's
so a tight bitch.
Thanks, brother.
And it was so fast I couldn't even bring it up while you were talking about it. But yes, Type 1, everybody. Fund My Comic and Indiegogo. This is the Indiegogo site. Check it out. The crushed $10K on this campaign altogether.
$10K, $100. Can't go wrong. Thank you, everybody, for the support. That was my cover. This is Joe's cover right there. Joe, Marlo Alquiza inked it. And Dan. Dan Kemp colored it.
We got both the Kemps on our projects. We mess them up all the time. But
that's Phil McNulty and Dan. Got a bunch of dope covers. We got these Chris Graves. And sometime at the end of the month we'll figure out doing that whole redo thing. We'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen.
I'm working on the book. I just finished page 42 today. Going to start the 43rd page tomorrow, and then hopefully get that done in the next few days. And then I have a goal deadline of 11:59 and 59 seconds on June 23rd. That's a Monday. Well, you know, it's special kind of. So
Yep.
Yeah, and then then send it all to Dan, and then get it lettered and production. So hopefully get it to everybody by early fall. Just printers and. You know how shit goes.
Yeah, it might take, and that's the whole thing when anybody that's printed a comic. I went through it for the first time, obviously Reaper Destroyer. Sometimes things take a lot longer than you think when you get into that process of trying to get into the printing and the final and all that kind of shit can be a real pain in the ass, but yeah.
Yeah, right now I'm experiencing some of that. Like Club Banfur was supposed to get into the printers like maybe Monday. But we are at Comic-Con season, so there's like 5 to 6 cons, and everyone's printing. So yeah, everyone's just the printers are just full, man.
Do you go to La Mole?
Yeah. There's another one in March, so I'll be having a table there.
Nice.
I actually been away from cons in Mexico for the last 8 years. I just went back to one called CCXP last week. So I got back. I met Humberto Ramos, and I was hanging with them.
Nice.
With Francisco Herrera, Paco Herrera.
Oh, he's so talented.
Yeah, he's so sick, and he's so cool. He was hanging around in the artist alley. And Jorge Gutierrez, he's the director from The Book of Life and Mucha Lucha, all that stuff. And he was just hanging around. He was. They usually scout for talent, so I got offered a job at Disney, working at some trading cards for Lorcana.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool, and I got to catch up with Humberto and with Paco Herrera, and they have like some really sick stuff. And I was asking them like, when are you guys going to come up with another art book? Because I really love those Herrera books.
I got them right there. Yeah, the hardcovers. Beautiful.
And I was just like, I was just telling him like, we need the 6th one and the 7th one because he already has them, but he hasn't printed them yet. So I want to get those in physical books.
Oh, I'm with you. I have all the hardcovers. Oh, thank you, Sammy. Yeah.
Christopher asked how many pages Type 1 will have altogether.
Okay, so originally it's 42, and then I pushed it to 46, but then I might have to push this to 48.
Oh,
just sounds like a Proud Thunder. Yeah.
Exactly. No, like I'm just like drawing it, and I'm like, I'm working out scenes in my head. I'm like, I need to expand on this, I need to expand on that, but I need to make it balls to the wall cool as well. So
Special reaction pages. Yeah.
They
get out of control real fast.
Really fast. I'm like, it's like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have done that. So maybe I should do 48 pages. But that's not solid yet. Not until June 23rd, you'll know if it's 46 or 48 pages.
Yeah, nice. I like that. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Shout out to the chat who have been with us all night long. Thank you guys for the super chats. Thank you guys for the awesome conversation within the chat itself. I'm seeing here on that new thing that the YouTube has with the can't remember what it's actually called, but YouTube has this thing where it ranks the people in the chat as far as engagement and all that stuff, and you get a number by your name, 1, 2, 3, whatever. I see the one taken in. The person taking in the number 1 is Hail the Lore, coming in at number 1 is the last person I saw. Still has that by his name. I'm hoping the chat can see it because I can see it. Hopefully it's not something I just see. But Hail the Lore, I'm just going to say, since we don't have anything for that right now, this just makes you all together. You're number 1 in our book, my friend. Appreciate you. Maybe next time we'll see who comes in number 1 here as well. Jose, thank you so much for coming on, man. This is a blast. We'll definitely have you on again.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Anytime. Open invite, and then we'll be looking at this one for sure.
Yeah, we'll definitely figure that out because I think we'll dive into that and have a really good conversation with that. I can tell.
Yeah.
So
I'll try to get those Street Fighter stuff that I was telling you.
Oh yeah.
So you can see where Joe Matt swipe a couple of those fighting scenes because it's shameless. It's pretty shameless, but pretty cool too.
Yeah, we'll look forward to that. That would be awesome. Sammy says, before we get out of here, Sammy says, always good to see appreciation for Joe Mad. That's what we do around here on this show, on this channel. We appreciate comic book art, especially the ones that inspired us. We love Joe Mad, all those guys throughout the years. So if you're new to the channel or if you're just tuning in, subscribe to it. Once we get our other show, Appreciating Comic Book Art Live, back going, we dive into a lot of art specific shows with that and just kind of really get in nice and deep, knee deep into the art. Steve Cannon's in the house, been doing some really great work out there, doing some Spawn covers for Todd McFarlane production. Good to see you, man. As I missed the show, I'll have to watch it later. Definitely do, man. I think it was a good show, a lot of good information. We've got to see some really awesome art. All right, everybody, we're going to get out of here. Find a show that's live. I forgot to look to direct you guys. Need to get back into doing that. I've been slacking lately, and that's my bad. But until then, This Sunday, 8 p.m., the Ronan Joe Show will be on, shooting the shit, having a good time, talking about the latest pop culture stuff, trailers, comics. There's a white Black Panther, so I'm sure we're going to talk about that. That's going to be fun. Then be back here Tuesday. Didn't you hear that? The Joe Quesada book that's out. They introduced the son of Black Panther is white. They're all up in arms about it. Yeah, I think it was Quesada. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out yet, but I forgot it came out. So, definitely we'll talk about that. And then the Spawn review, we're going to be looking at Haunt, #1, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Check that out and be back here next Thursday, Ott and stuff. At some point, we're going to be looking at, maybe we'll do it next Thursday. I don't know. Do we have a guest next Thursday?
I don't know.
We're going to look at Batman 160 at some point, the new Hush issue. So we might throw that in there as well. But keep an eye on us. We'll figure it out. We'll let you guys know. Until then, everybody, be good to each other. Take care of one another. And as always, why is my screen not working? Okay. And as always, picture me naked. Talk to y'all later. Peace.